Hey, hello everybody, eu sou Adir Ferreira, estamos no VEDA número 28, Video Every Day in April, e hoje temos um listening test do Michigan Proficiency, que é um teste de proficiência em inglês americano. Então você pode fazer esse teste, ver como está seu listening, e lembra que o roteiro e a correção do teste estão lá no blog para você acompanhar certinho. Alright? Vamos lá?
The first part of the examination is a listening test that will assess your understanding of spoken English. The listening test has 3 parts. There are 50 questions. Mark all your answers on the separate answer sheet. Do not make any stray marks on the answer sheet. If you change your mind about an answer, erase your first answer. Part 1. In this part of the test, you will hear short conversations. From the 3 answer choices given, choose the answer which means the same thing as you hear, or that is true based on what you hear. For problems 1 through 18, mark your answers on the separate answer sheet. No problems can be repeated. Please listen carefully. Do you have any questions? Question 1.
Do you know Ruby?
Who?
Question 2.
Was it a good lecture?
It went way over my head.
Question 3.
I just don't know what to do.
Don't make a mountain out of a molehill.
Question 4.
Where's Hank?
He's working out at the gym.
Question 5.
Hi, Dad.
It's about time, young lady.
Question 6.
Did Rita practice her piano lesson today?
She keeps putting it off.
Question 7.
What do you think of Anna?
She's pretty full of herself.
Question 8.
Why are you late?
The police pulled me over.
Question 9.
Did you go to the bank?
Yeah, but it was packed.
Question 10.
Where does Terry live?
Out in the sticks.
Question 11.
Should I get a bike or a car?
Bikes are less of a hassle.
Question 12.
Why are you going to Mexico?
I'm hoping to brush up on my Spanish.
Question 13.
Laura bought an antique vase.
She must be broke now.
Question 14.
What's with Susan?
She thinks she might get the axe.
Question 15.
Laura's getting married.
That's wonderful.
Question 16.
What do you think?
I prefer you with bangs.
Question 17.
I'm going out with Gary tonight.
You should steer clear of him.
You would say that.
Question 18.
Stella says you insulted her.
Well, she lays it on thick.
Part 2. In this part of the test, you will hear a question. From the 3 answer choices given, choose the one which best answers the question. For problems 19 through 35, Mark your answers on the separate answer sheet. No problems can be repeated. Please listen carefully. Do you have any questions? Question 19.
Are you expecting a baby?
Question 20.
What's your new job?
Question 21.
Where did you go over the weekend?
Question 22.
Where should I pick you up?
Question 23.
Do you get along with Joe?
Question 24.
What does Tracy do for a living?
Question 25.
Are you dressing up for dinner?
Question 26.
What's bugging Laura?
Question 27.
Who takes you to work?
Question 28.
Did you like the food?
Question 29.
This heat is killing me.
Question 30.
Put it on your credit card.
Question 31.
Don't be so picky.
Question 32.
My cousin just bought a condo.
Question 33.
Was it you who called me?
Question 34.
What a great movie!
Question 35.
Please fill out this form.
Part 3. Segment 1. You are going to listen to an excerpt from a radio program, The Experts Speak. You will hear someone talking about crowd behavior. For questions 36 to 40, choose the best answer.
As cities grow and congestion increases, people endure daily cramming on the streets and shops and on the subway. It isn't always an ordeal, though. Sometimes being part of a crowd during a celebration, festival, or sporting event can be fun. For example, those who attended the Pope's open-air Mass in Britain in 1982 said that sharing the same experience with so many people gave them a powerful and moving feeling of unity. The same thing has been said of mass political rallies and football matches. Unfortunately, crowds can also have a darker side. At a concert in Cincinnati in the early 80s, 7 people were trampled to death when a crowd of fans attempted to get inside the concert hall. In England, 96 people were killed at a football match when the crowd behaved in a similar way. Video and on-the-spot observations reveal the same patterns are recurring time and time again. Long chains of moving people were shown to form spontaneously and persist with military precision before fading away into randomness. The type of crowd was shown to have little effect, as the same thing occurred whether it was an opera audience, Michael Jackson fans, or people attending a basketball game. By plotting crowd behavior algorithms in graphic form, computer scientists are able to predict the movement of many thousands of people within a crowd. When these models are used on a virtual crowd, it has been shown that a large stadium can be cleared of 20,000 people after a pop concert in 15 minutes. The program has also explained that once we are in a crowd, we largely lose our freedom of movement. We can only move when the person ahead of us moves on as it is easier to follow someone else than to force our own way through the crowd. These strings of people subsequently gather momentum as they move, allowing the crowd to take on self-organizing properties. These results have been used to make various alterations to modern stadium design. Railings dividing a gate, for example, have been shown to improve crowd flow by 25%. By taking such measures, it is hoped that further tragedies, like those in Cincinnati and in England, will be prevented.
36. What does the speaker say about being part of a crowd? (37) What do different types of crowds do? (38) What are scientists able to do? 39. How do people behave in crowds? 40. What would modifications to stadium layout achieve? 2. You are going to listen to an excerpt from a radio program, The Experts Speak. You will hear someone talking about body language. For questions 41 to 45, choose the best answer.
Do you find yourself making snap judgments about new people you meet?
It's something we do all the time, whether in a social or professional context. Arrive at a job interview in a crumpled suit or with wet hair, and it's more than certain you've blown it. Unless you're a genius, that is. Interviews can last up to half an hour or more, but the decision to hire or not is made within the initial 4 minutes of meeting. In fact, in 80% of interviews, this decision is made before the interviewee has even spoken. In a social context, when chatting to somebody in a bar or at a party, it takes 20 seconds at most for people to decide if they want to take things further. In deciding whether a person is right for a job or a relationship, people use a multitude of cues and signals, most of which they're unaware of. One feature people can become aware of and control is the body language. Someone who sits with their arms and legs firmly crossed will come across as narrow-minded and unresponsive. Correspondingly, a person who hangs their head won't be able to stand up to bullies, either at work or in a social setting. Hunched shoulders, fiddling with hair, or holding a hand over the mouth, these are classic signs of insecurity.
But body language isn't just about a person's own body, right?
I see what you're getting at. It's also about how they respond to other people's bodies. For example, the reserved British feel threatened if people stand less than 18 inches from them. Their personal space has been invaded. In contrast, the Japanese are comfortable at a distance of half that. Speeded-up films of British and Japanese executives greeting each other make their meeting look like a comical dance. The Japanese keep advancing towards the nervous-looking Britons who, with their 18-inch distance limit, keep retreating. Where you look is important as well. In business, it's wise to keep the gaze centered on a small triangle around the eyes and forehead. In social situations, the focus can drift as far as the mouth, but looking people up and down in an obvious way can get you into trouble. We're a judgmental species and constantly make snap decisions about people's attributes. It's wise to keep tabs on your body language if you want to get ahead.
41. What does the speaker suggest about job interviewers? 42. What does the speaker say about people? 43. What does the speaker say about people who tend to keep their heads down? 44. What behaviors characteristic of Japanese people? (45) What does the speaker conclude? Segment 3. You are going to listen to an excerpt from a radio program, The Experts Speak. You will hear someone talking about music. For questions 46 to 50, choose the best answer.
It is said that music is a universal language that bridges all cultural gaps and melts all physical boundaries. But why, as humans, do we need to listen to music? Part of the reason for this may stem from the fact that, up until a few centuries ago, we lived in natural dwellings and would wake up to the sound of birds chirping, or, if we were not so lucky, the sound of a lion roaring. So as to provide an antidote to today's stressful, fast-paced way of life, some escape the cacophony of the modern city by listening to the music of their choice. Others use music as a means to express themselves, such as through dance, or use it as a catalyst to get the creative juices flowing so they can write or paint more effectively. Still others use music to soothe their nerves and lull themselves to sleep. But music is more than a means to an end, in that it communicates with us directly, evoking an emotional response. Whereas other forms of entertainment, such as watching TV, can be considered passive entertainment, and playing computer games involves using our skills and reflexes in order to achieve victory, music speaks to our souls and provides a need that has been referred to as soothing the beast within. If this is true, then music can be used as a therapeutic means of calming frayed nerves, getting rid of melancholia, and helping in the digestion of food. Ultimately, then, it is a means of altering our mood and our environment. Of course, if we have an adolescent child or discourteous neighbor who insists on blaring head-banging music that to us sounds worse than hearing a garbage truck making its rounds, we may feel less upbeat about the positive attributes of music. It is important to remember that, ultimately, music is an expression of how we feel, for better or worse, and that one person's meat is another person's poison.
46. What does the speaker imply about our need to listen to music? (47) How do some artists use music? (48) How is listening to music different from other forms of entertainment? (49) According to the speaker, how can music benefit us? (50) Why might some people disagree with the speaker's views on music?